Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Vinay and we like watching anime. My favorite anime is One Piece and that's what we are watching today guys. We are on episode 1154, right? That's a lot. And I think this one or maybe the next one is the end of season 1 guys. If you watch One Piece, you know that One Piece is going seasonal, and well, no wonder. With this sort of animation, it's kind of really hard for any animation studio to keep up with the weekly schedule. And we know that One Piece has taken quite some breaks over the course of last couple of years, but with this sort of storyline, the animation and the bomb and the bangers that Oda Sensei has been dropping on us each and every episode, I think it does end up deserving this seasonal route, right? And nothing bad with it. And the pacing still remains the same, which we know is a little bit slow, but still okay, because this is the main storyline of One Piece. And in the seasonal anime, I think it's going to be 28 episodes per season. So it's still good. It's still a lot. We already get around what 35, 36, something 35 plus episodes per year, and we didn't cut down a lot, like 12 episodes a year. We only went to like 28. So that's kind of amazing, and this will give enough time for the animators, and we are essentially looking out for the Toei animation and all the directors and all the producers and all the cast and crew and everybody, all the voice actors. We're looking out for them and giving them a little break as they deserve, doing what they have been doing for literally weekly for the past, I don't know, 25 years. That's kind of good. So I don't mind it at all. And we are almost at the end of Egghead arc, guys. So if you've not caught up to One Piece yet, this is your time. But if you're here, kind of enjoy watching One Piece, and you know how you want to see how other people enjoy it as well. So hey, there's a link in the description for all the One Piece anime that I've been watched and all other animes as well. Hopefully you'll enjoy them as well. Let's do a recap of what happened last episode. Emmett finally revealed his ace, his trump card, ace. Well, he didn't reveal his ace. He revealed his trump card, which was a haki that uh, Joy Boy had like gifted him or sort of given to him as a last resort, and we saw this burst of Conqueror's haki, never seen before, able to split the sky by itself, able to split the waters, and that was amazing. It was so huge of a Conqueror's haki burst, and it was actually meant to be a last resort, and that's what happened. Emmett's choice of using that literally took over every single elder that was there, right? For now, we know that the, the only elder that was physically present at Egghead was Saint Saturn, and apart from him, everybody else was sort of summoned. If you know what I mean, they were like using the summoning circles. They were still there, so all of them went back to their original form, and then went back to their Marijoa, and even Imu-sama felt Joy Boy's haki from Egghead Island. And you imagine that? That's how crazy burst of a haki, Conqueror's haki, Joy Boy had stored for Emmett. And hey guys, if you've been watching me for some time now, I keep telling you, Joy Boy is essentially Luffy. It's either him or it's the Sun God Spirit, and he can travel through time. And that just goes to prove that, hey, Luffy actually did end up wanting to help himself, or probably he know that this was done, so he's kind of doing the same for helping out Luffy in the present, the current Luffy, for I don't know what reason, but hey, if Luffy saw that sort of haki right now, the strongest burst of haki that we had seen was Shanks when he was able to literally subdue an admiral, right? One of the strongest powers in the One Piece world right now, Admiral Rokugu, from a distance, never even keeping a foot on Wano, right? And that's what happened. We also saw crazy clashes between Whitebeard and Shanks and Akaido and Big Mom and all the other people and all their conquerors Saki. And if you've seen the movie, what was it, Strong World or Red? But it was Roger's Cruz Bullet versus Luffy, and we saw their haki as well. So, guys, Conqueror's haki is a huge deal in One Piece world. And if you are strong, if your will is strong, I think that's enough. You don't need any devil fruit sort of powers. You don't need any, you don't need any devil fruit. You don't need any other abilities. All you have to have is strongest of the wills. That's essentially what Conqueror's Haki is, and you're good to go. So, having seen that, Luffy is going to be able to either reproduce it or go up to that level of Haki because he now knows what the ceiling looks like, and trying to reach it is always what Luffy has done. He's improving every day over and over, and that's what we like. We also saw two people kind of unaffected by it. Well, they were like everybody else was kind of shocked and surprised or either taken out, but Zoro and Sanji, they were looking at it and thinking, this is what Haki is this in this new world and where we can reach, which is this is what height of power looks like, right? These are all young folks, guys. Luffy's crew is incredibly young, early 20s, even late teens, except for Robin and Brook, which are in their late 30s or something like that. Maybe Brook is even more. But hey, guys, these are very, very, very young people. They are still yet they're still yet to reach their peak. Now, Luffy did say that he's reached his peak in Gear 5, but I don't think that was it. I think there's more that Luffy can do in just his base form than going to Gear 5 and doing stuff like that. So we have an example now, and I am really, really stoked and curious to find out where this leads now. So let's watch together episode 1154, One Piece. That essentially is just Luffy. It looks Joy Boy, but it is Luffy. There's a secret plan. By the way, there's only one Vegapunk now. Well, two. York and the other one, Lilith. Is that Sakazuki? Did I hear Sakazuki? The giants are quite unaffected by the burst of Aki of Joy Boy. Was that intentional or what? Whoa, of course. Was that skill superior to Akagami? Of course. Even Vice Admirals are gone. Oh wow! Did you notice that? The Seraphims weren't affected by it. Wow, that's mind-blowing. That goes to show how powerful Seraphims are. Time to buzz off. What is Luffy doing? Oh yeah, okay, we are going to Elbaf now. Hey guys, somebody's gonna get fired from the Gorosei. Oh, so Luffy now? Yeah, the crew is yet to meet the giants. Would it not make sense to just grab Luffy's ship and put it on giant ship and then move forward? I don't like this guy. Spreads misinformation. Go ahead, Vivi. You tell him. Ooh, Waffle. Why is he here? Oh, spoken like a leader. What? Oh, Sentomar is alive! Thank God. Well, I didn't see him getting killed, but he's gonna be a fugitive now, probably. What the hell? Wow. Lay off him. He's a good guy. He just killed his friend. Oof. I don't want Akainu to have a sad story. Oh yeah, we kind of forget that Kizaru's been through it all. Ugh. He's helpless. He's helpless. He's a puppet. That's what's wrong being a puppet. Oh, I mean, on one hand, I do feel bad for him, but on the other hand, it's your choice. What can you say? First of all, this guy, this, what's his name? Morgan's shithead, shithead, and thank God for Vivi for standing up for him. Vivi is at the point where she knows. Well, she's been through a lot, right? She's been in that organization, Crocodile's organization, so she knows the how the workings of the underworlds are, right? In that sense, because she's infiltrated that, so she knows what there is. She's been through a war, mind you, so she's gone through there as well. She has seen what pirates can and cannot be, and there are different sorts of pirates. Like Luffy's crew, one of the nicer and better human beings than even the normal navy and marine people out there. And then there's shit pirates like Kid, who kind of annihilate and kill so many people that you kind of forget that they are actually the pirates, and that's what pirates are supposed to be for all the world. She's seen through that. She's been to Marine, so she's seen the exploitation that government, uh, that Navy Marine has done with the common folks. She's seen slavery. She's seen battles. She's seen losing her well, close people. I think Pell was him, the eagle sort of guy. He, she thought she lost him. Then they lost their king, so she kind of knows that as well. She's been through all of it, right? At that point in there, in Vivi's life, she has been through so much stuff that she understands how this plays out in real world, and this is what separates her from other monarchs in One Piece's world, right? You see other kings and queens and princes and lords of the like Shirahoshi, the princess from underwater. She knows nothing about the real world. All she knows is that there's Luffy, there's pirates, and other people, and even though she's her a weapon by herself, but still then there's other kings who are kind of terrible. They don't know. They don't want anything. They don't want. They are just mere puppets of Imusama and the world government, right? They just have a part of organization and they just enjoy the riches. Even Kuma's Sorbet Kingdom's what's that? The king, shit king, right? And they named Kuma to be the tyrant king of that place, right? So she knows how stories can be manipulated and all this stuff, and she stands firm at her beliefs of what she's seen, what she's experienced, and how all of this can be manipulated, right? She's seen through this all. Probably the only other person who is along the same lines is what is it? Is it Violet or Rebecca from Dressrosa? Because they are the next in line princes or something, and they have also been seeing terrible stuff out there, but they're not explored out. That's that's why I think Vivi is so important because she's seen through it all. She knows how to do. She knows how information can be manipulated, and she can probably do something about it at her position. That's why she has a different sort of task, right? She could have left with Luffy's crew and just went along with them, and that would have been fine with her, right? But she has a duty, a responsibility to uphold, and she's not a person to shy away from um, that role, right? That's why I think Vivi is sort of one of the most important persons in this world, and and I don't know if this is true, but since Revolutionary Army was the were kind of the people who helped out Vivi, maybe she has sort of connections with them as well, and maybe that's going to be helping us one day. Maybe Dragon will come and do something. We have no idea what's going to happen, but again, Vivi is a very important figure, and for her to stand firm at her beliefs and not bow down to the lies that this man is spreading, Morgan is spreading, hats off. Commendable, very cool. And well, it's an end for Emmett, I think. There's nothing more he can do. I think he's broken down. Saturn is there. I don't know what he's going to do with him. And we are tired. It's time to move to Egghead now. That's fine. That's a different scenario anyway. It's time to move out of Egghead to Elbaf. And finally, after I don't know how many seasons is that, how many episodes is that right now? 1150, 4 episodes. We are now finally moving to the place that we were promised in what episode 10 or 15 when Usopp first mentioned Elbaf. Hey, that's cool. Kind of also like again, I want to side with Borsalino, but again, he's following. Like you don't have to be puppets. I think I think blindly following hierarchy is I don't know if it's a strength-based hierarchy here or it's just brains-based hierarchy, whatever base hierarchy that Navy has, essentially some sort of strength anyway. But I don't think that's the right path. And I think what's his name? Kainu, Kizaru, Aokiji. Yeah, Aokiji, yeah. So he realized this and he separated himself from that weed. He weeded himself out from that organization that sort of looks at justice in a more crooked and wicked sort of way, right? And that was a smart choice on his end. But he's also looking for something else, and he sided with Blackbeard now. And we know Blackbeard is not the good pirate. Let's say he's terrible. Killed was the main guy responsible for Ace and whatever happened over there. Killed Whitebeard, got his fruit, but he's against the Navy. So in one way, he might be good, might be bad. We don't know how he's gonna end up turning into. But so far, he's doing shit job, and his crew is also crazy. But he's gonna get crucial information from that mud, that kind of guy, because he's been there through all this stuff. So a lot of things have been changing, and if you didn't realize now, before, but now the world of One Piece is shifted and it's moving through a much faster pace than we were moving in like Grand Line or New World or until like even Dressrosa or Whole Cake Island or Wano. The world has shifted by a lot. Within a short amount of time, the Yonkos have changed. There have been battles between Blackbeard and Law, and again, Law's crew was annihilated. There was a battle between Kid and Chunks, and his crew was annihilated. Shank's got the poneglyphs. He's on the move. Cross Guild was there formed. There's other stuff. The main, I think, Vice Admiral, the good Vice Admiral was killed. Admiral or Vice Admiral? Yeah, he was killed and because of a bounty on his head that was placed by Buggy. And we know Mihawk and Crocodile are fought. So there's so much stuff happened in the short amount of time that the world is kind of shaking at this point. And after that, such a broadcast, Vegapunk's broadcast, well, I don't know how it would play out, but if you were there in that world, it would have been a really, really terrifying moment to live here because anything can happen at this point. Lulusia was wiped out, guys. And we know what happened there. Yeah, he knew that his death would bring about the broadcast. Oh, 2 weeks before the Straw Hat's arrival. Okay. So how did they stop it from being synced to the main brains? Is that easy? And they know that she's talking to Marijo. That's where they use the Lulusis. Which one though? There's three. Yep. Oh wow. It's already accepted it. That's the mind of a scientist, y'all. They come to conclusions and they accept it very soon as soon as they have empirical evidence, right? Yeah, and now since he knows that he's dying, at least his death should not be in vain. Hey, that's what I said. Are we going to see the full broadcast or something, the stuff that we missed? They're gonna wipe out. They're all gonna wipe out their memories. Oh, is it is it crazy that we were able to guess that the transponder snail, the broadcast transponder snail, would have been hidden away in the giant and not anywhere else in the island? I'm not saying we are that smart, but it's just the most logical conclusion that we all came up to. I'm hoping that when you're watching this, you'd be thinking of where they could have hidden the snail, the transporter broadcast snail. And the first location that ever come to my mind was literally the giant, because it's so ahead in the future that even Vegapunks, all of them, didn't understand how it worked and what it meant. And even if, let's say, well, we didn't know they didn't know if it could activate, but if it could, that would be great. Even if it didn't, it was like stashed away, far away from their main um, like operational stations, and then it's also sort of not being able to be destroyed. I don't know. Maybe that's what something would have guessed. Like if that is one, that is the first location that came to my mind. A second location would have been either on, well, the Straw Hat ship wasn't there. Straw Hat ship wasn't there yet. So maybe they would have given it to Sentomaru or somebody. Well, it's a big snail, so it's kind of very hard to find out, but we still don't know where Sentomaru lived. So maybe they gave it with Sentomaru and asked him to take it away and do whatever he wants with it. Maybe not on the island itself. And if that's not on the island, then it's not possible to find out because this is all 2 weeks before. But they didn't trust this information to anybody, not even themselves. They are wiping their memories off clean. So probably that's wrong. And since they are one of the smartest creatures, they might have taken the right decision amongst themselves. Three Vegapunks, one of them is enough, and three of them, crazy. But having said that, since they were able to destroy the Egghead Island, do you think that all the records that Vegapunk researched and all the Vegapunk records, the peak brain that he stored, everything is gone? Do you think the government got rid of it? They got rid of everything in Ohara, or what they thought of. But of course, clearly there were some books that were stored away by the giants and by these people, by Vegapunk himself as well, by Dragon who was there. So there are some records that are still there. So how many of those would be the same with Vegapunk in his punk records? That's something that we don't know yet. Again, there are the writing style of Oda Sensei is so good that there are some mysteries that are just in the background and we won't even notice that, oh, what's happening here. But then he finds a way to bring them back later on, or probably in some sort of flashbacks going further down the line, and that's cool. And then we find out, oh, hey, that was always there. It's exactly the same as Laboon, the big whale, the blue whale, who we thought was, oh, that's probably not useful, but now we know that it is, and that's how it came into picture. So I think these are some just simple mysteries that are important, but probably in the future. And even the knot thing with the Aki, we didn't know that could happen, but we didn't know that could happen with air, but we didn't know that could happen with anything, including Haki. So Oda Sensei finds simple ways of putting stuff back into later on that actually really helps out. And then there are of course clear mysteries like who was Joy Boy, who was Emmett, and what he was doing on this island. When did he attack Marijo? What happened there? Nothing, nothing. We know nothing of it. So I didn't know if this was the best chance. Maybe he could have escaped with Luffy. Maybe he couldn't have. But then also might have played out a little bit differently. And there's now only two um, uh, Vegapunks alive. One of them is York, who's promised to be a celestial dragon by the world government. I don't know if they will uphold that. And the other one is Lilith, who's with Straw Hats. So guys, we got crazy power now. Crazy power now. We have the giants with us. We have Zoro, which also has Conqueror Sagi. Doesn't know how you use it, but he's still there. We have Sanji. We have Jinbei. We have Luffy, Gear 5. We have Bonnie. I don't know if she's going to be with us. Probably the safest place, but it's not even about safety. She literally a 9-year-old who can use crazy haki and become like Gear 5 Luffy. So she's way strong by herself as well. But maybe a good idea to hang out with Luffy and fulfill, or maybe just go to some place like the Revolutionary Army with Kuma. We don't know how it's going to be turning out. Lol. Yeah, that's when Luffy entered the kingdom. Yonko Mugiwara. It's gonna be a huge party, right until Elbaf and even in Elbaf. Give him food first. And I think that was the last episode of this year. Let me just check if they say that in the credits, like post credits. Nah. Now there's one episode which is kind of like the aftermath of what might have happened later on the line. Well, for Marines, what's happening with the guys? They're going to continue the journey. They're not. They're surely going to be probably showing us, hey, we reached Elbaf, but that's about it. We don't get to know what Elbaf is or where it is or what they're doing there. We don't get to know what happened to the elders. Imusama did something. What happened to York, Lilith? There's so much of unpacking to do, and I think they can do that in the next episode. And probably that might be the last episode of the year. But hey, that's cool. And then Then we reset. Then we reset to the seasonal anime, and then we get amazing, high quality animations, which already, by the way, it's clearly one of the great animations out there in any anime so far, including 3Ds, including the art of what's it called it, the impact frames, and then loads of other stuff with the directors and amazing producers and amazing animators as well. Toto is going to go all out with this. Well, that's cool. Apart from that, yes, we finally make sense why Vegapunk wanted his death, because he kind of knew that it will trigger something. But it's also sad in a way that there's only Lilith and Yog that remains, and one of them is on other on the side. Lilith is always going. Lilith was always with the reckless sort of person, and then York is always the more mischievous, greedy sort of person. So we don't know how that will turn out anyway, and whether or not the government will, world government and other five elders will make use of York in some sort of way. She's a Vegapunk anyway. Now there's two of them, and one of them is with Luffy. So we want to know everything that we can. I don't think these other Vegapunks, apart from Shaka, Vegapunk, and the main, the big guy. I don't know his name, but I don't know apart from them, anybody else knew that what's happening on Vegapunk, and I don't know how they kept it hidden for so long. But that's kind of cool. And they were surprised again, and then all this stuff happened on Egghead, and now we are moving to a new era, to a new arc. Can you believe Luffy is the person who survived five elders? Not just by himself, of course, there was Joy Boy involved there, but he survived. Law is gone. If Law did not have Beppo there, it would have been end of it, and Blackbeard would have had a great power in his hand, which is Ope Ope no Mi, and he could have been immortal. Then there's also Kid and Killer, who were demolished by one named attack from Shanks, and that goes to show how crazy powerful Shanks is. And if the Giants are comparing Joy Boy's Haki with Shanks' Haki, you have to understand that's, well, they are kind of sort of comparing it, but they still understand that Joy Boy's Haki was much, much, much better or much powerful than Shanks, but they know that Shanks was like the ceiling for them, probably, most likely. So that's crazy. And now they have Luffy. They've seen the Sun God. They've seen Bonnie, and also a Sun God. I don't know what else is going to unpack or unravel with this. We want to know how everybody turns out to be, where they go with it. But that's probably for the next episode. So thank you for watching. Let me know what you think about this episode in the comments. What do you think is going to happen with the elders, with Bonnie, with Lilith, with York? Anything that you know, let me know in the comments, and we'll see you for the next one. Till then, bye bye.